Hey y'all, I had my 1 month checkup today, so I thought I'd do 1 month update on my functional medicine journey. For those of you who haven't watched the last few videos, I started doing a functional medicine treatment plan a little over a month ago, and it's been going really well. I started this because for the last 13 years I've been struggling with symptoms that basically I'll go into autoimmune diseases, specifically lupus, thyroid disease, endometriosis is in there, what else? Everything that just goes along with it. But anyway, so I had been on all conventional treatment before, all the different thyroid medicines that you could try, pain medicines for rheumatism, even medicine for depression, and none of that had helped, and I was just slowly deteriorating and literally stuck in a chair for a couple years. I was battling a UTI for over 2 years. Constant antibiotic use was destroying my gut, and I just was not doing very well. So that's why I started this treatment plan. I had recently, a few years ago, I heard a little bit about functional medicine, and I kept putting it off because we kept moving. My husband deployed. There was always something, but this last year I figured, let's just do this. I finally found a doctor pretty close. It's getting a lot easier to find a functional medicine provider, so look them up and get in if you have any sort of chronic illness, any fatigue, pain that you're dealing with. It's a great place to start. So this last visit was kind of like the one before it. I filled out a lot more paperwork, updated how my symptoms were going, any issues I was having. He wanted to know what was improving. We went back over what I had been eating, and I found out some pretty cool stuff. Now, I knew that I was losing some weight, specifically inches, because I had to finally go buy a new wardrobe. I went down 2 sizes, both in my tops and in my pants. My clothes were just falling off me, which is crazy for me because if you know, people with hypothyroidism, we don't lose weight. We gain and gain and gain, and we can starve ourselves. We can spend all day running around the block and the weight does not come off. And I haven't really been doing a whole lot different than I have been. Before I started this plan, I actually did lose 80 pounds, and I'll go over through how I did that in a different video. But just this last 2 weeks, I have lost 2% body fat, 6 pounds, 2 pant sizes, and that was in 2 weeks. I didn't do anything different. I didn't even know that. I mean, I knew that I'd lost because I could feel it and see it with what I was wearing, but I haven't been monitoring too much because I didn't, this isn't specifically what I am in the program for. I wasn't trying to lose weight. I was doing that already. Of course, I hit that wall where you got the last 20 pounds and you just can't get it off. That is kind of where I was at. So I took my focus off the scale, and really I've just been focusing on the inflammation and trying to feel better because summer's coming up. I'm ready to go hiking with the family. And last year I did much better than I had been, but when I got home from our trip to Branson and all the hiking and going through all the caves, I was beat, and I actually, I wasn't home 30 minutes and I walked, out the driveway and fell. My legs just gave out. So that's where I am right now. I'm trying to manage my pain, figure out how I need to eat and the lifestyle choices that I need to change so that I don't lose this battle to lupus. I want to look and feel and act my age. So anyways, that was awesome. My doctor looked at me and he was like, did you know that, you lost 6 pounds in the last 2 weeks? And I really hadn't. And he was excited about, the 2% body loss, that fat loss, that was a huge thing to me, because as y'all know, it's hard. It gets hard to lose. Another thing that I'm super excited about is I have finally had a whole week of no pain in my hands and my feet. Normally the weather can change, the lighting can change, and I feel it. And I know that sounds crazy, but those who have autoimmune disease know that, you know, certain lights, being in the sun for 15 minutes, all of that can affect joint pain. So my hands feel awesome. They have not felt like this since I was a teenager. Before I was a teenager, because it's basically when my symptoms started. But I've been able to, my husband bought me a fitness watch because I've been keeping up, trying to get my 10,000 steps in. And that was an exciting goal that I finally hit the last month and have been able to keep up with. Because normally by the end of the day my feet are just numb and I can't handle it anymore, but I've been able to get my 10,000 steps in, do my rebounding. I've started strength training, and it's just it's such a blessing to have your hands and your feet. It's something I think a lot of people take for granted. I'm able to start writing again. My daughter got a pen pal, and you know, I was showing her cool different things we did back in the 90s on our, you know, notebook paper that she could send, and it was just really cool to be able to use my hands and write. That's something that I was starting to lose, not being able to write and people really understand my handwriting. So sorry, I'm looking down at my paper trying to remember. So that has been two things that have changed in the last 2 weeks, but overall what I noticed right off the bat was gut health. This first few months, that is what we're trying to do, is heal my gut. That was the biggest thing with me. My gut health was terrible with all the antibiotic usage and just the terrible eating over the last decade, me being too tired to care about what I fed myself. I totally trashed my gut. So that's what we're doing now. And this is one of the main things that I'm on that's doing most of the work for me in that. And in the last video I kind of talked on it, and I'll go through and make a video for each supplement that I'm using and kind of give a brief run through of what's in them and how they work. But my gut is completely different than what it was a month ago. I couldn't eat much of anything and it not just hurt. And I'm talking about like Taco Bell hurt. If you've had Taco Bell, I think everyone goes through this where you just immediately, whatever I ate could be healthy. It wouldn't matter. If it was tomato, it felt like someone was just stabbing me right in the stomach, and I'd have pain for a couple hours and it'd fade, and then I'd have to eat my next meal and all over again, you know, a knife in the stomach. It was getting to where I didn't want to leave the house because if I ate, I didn't know how I was going to feel. And it's kind of embarrassing when you're doubled over in pain and there's just nothing you can do about it. I was very limited on what I could eat at that point. So this last month, I've done the GI Ultramax once a day, and it's probably 3 days in, 3-4 days in, I could just feel a difference in my stomach. The bloating has gone away. I haven't been bloated. No stomach pains. My digestion is just so much better. What else? No headaches. So we're getting into spring, and normally by now I've had a migraine at least every other day. I haven't had a migraine since I've started this and started changing everything that I put into my body. I had a headache every other day for sure since I was 13. I've always had some sort of headache. At least twice a month I would have a migraine where if you've had one, it's just, you can't do anything. If you have a true migraine, you're in bed and you got the blankets over your eyes and you can't talk, you can't eat, you're just praying that you can throw up and move on with your life. But I haven't had a headache in at least 3 weeks. So it's just crazy. It's crazy to not feel pain. I never thought I would get to even this point after going through all this, but we're in the first month and I've already have all these positive changes going on so far. So yeah, my tummy doesn't hurt, my hands don't hurt, my head doesn't hurt, and this is 1 month in, guys. So you know, I preach functional medicine all day long, and I watch people keep going to the doctor and getting put on more medication, and they keep telling me, you know, I can't afford to do it right now. Yes, you can. The money I have saved, not taking my blue and brown pills, as my kids call them, Motrin and Aleve. You know, the food that I'm eating, the way I eat now, I eat much less, and that's cheaper, and it's all healthy, organic, you know, food. I go to the doctor less now than I was before. That's cheaper. The supplements I'm on are not meant for long term. So for what I've spent now, it's still less than what I was spending on my prescriptions, but I will be off them in a few months. So that's going to be a huge savings. So don't write it off. Don't think that you're going to spend more. That's not true at all. I spent way more, even with great health insurance, going to a conventional, you know, doctor, doing all the pills and just feeling lousy, and them not explaining what was wrong with me, or they didn't even really know what was wrong with me. They could name it. They could tell you the symptoms involved with it, but they could not tell me, you know, why I had it and let's treat it. There is no treatment. Here's a pill. Let's hope no more symptoms come up. The end. That was it. And I wasn't okay living like that. And I don't want y'all to be okay living like that either. You can feel better. I feel great. And I wouldn't be on doing this if it wasn't something amazing, because I don't like this. I hate being in front of a camera. Very closed off from most people normally, but this works. I want y'all to feel better. I want y'all to try it. I want it to spread so we can get people feeling better and living their life. So not too much has changed. My hormones have been fluctuating, which every time I go on a different treatment, every time I change anything, that's super normal for me. I broke out. Menstrual cycle wasn't very fun to deal with at all, but it is finally on a schedule. TMI, I used to bleed every single day for years. The only thing that got me semi on a schedule was finally a nutritionist recommended that I use progesterone cream, and that did help a bunch. That helped with a lot of water weight that I was living with, and that contributed a lot of to my pain too. Since I have endometriosis, I have estrogen issues. So you may want to ask if you have any sort of heavy bleeding, pain, anything like that. You know, talk to your provider about progesterone. It has been a huge help to me. It's not that expensive. It's not hard. You just, you know, I put it on my feet every night before I go to bed, and you might want to look into that. But anyways, so hormones have fluctuated a little bit, but I feel like they're evening out. They're getting kind of where they need to be. Like I've said in previous videos, my facial hair is coming back. It looks horrible because it's growing in, but I'm just thrilled that it's there. And I am taking some pictures of the progress, but I'm not comfortable showing it quite yet. Very embarrassing to be without makeup when you're sick and you look like you're dying. But I will post those as I progress on a little further. What else? So the only thing that he really added this time around was we're going to go ahead and do a Parasite Cleanse. because it is something I had an issue with a few years ago, and we're thinking it might be contributing to some of my problems now. So we're gonna start that tomorrow. Super exciting, very disgusting, and way too much information, but I'm gonna go ahead and document it anyway, because someone watching this may be battling that and it could help anybody. So Para 1 is what I'll be starting from Cellcore, and I'll let you know how it goes, kind of what that's about, if it's something that you think you might benefit from. We all have some parasites, but some of us have a blown out problem of it. So I'll put more information about that underneath if you want to read, and I'll just keep documenting, and I'm going to make some videos on some of the other supplements. But like I said, if you have any sort of digestion issues, if you have acid reflux, if you have just pain, digestion issues, can't lose your tummy, headaches, even vision issues, you might and probably do need to heal your gut. If you're in America and you've been eating the American diet for not even an extended amount of time, I can guarantee your gut needs some help. So if I only recommended one thing that I've done over any of this, I would seriously look into this GI Max. I know there's a lot of my friends and family that talk about their kids with eczema. That we have put my daughter with those issues on this, and her skin is cleared beautifully. Like I said, we're going into spring. February is always the worst month for us. Headaches, usually we're all stuffy. She's broken out, and we've already had her in the emergency room because she can't barely breathe, and we don't have any of that in our house right now. And like I said, they're all on that right now. My whole family needs a gut cleanse, a gut boost. So they're doing that, and it's working out very well. So I'm going to link that down below. Check it out. Very simple to use. You know, those shaker bottles, you just throw a little bit of water, some powder in there, drink it, you're done. And all my kids beg it. Is it time yet? Beg me for it every day because it tastes great. It's not gross. There's a couple things I've taken that it's like, okay, yeah, let's just get it in, get it done. But that tastes wonderful. So anyways, I think that's it. Like I said, it's going awesome. Best thing I've ever done for my health, for my family. You know, they're getting their mom back. It gotten really bad. My husband had to sit down and explain to my kids, you know, mommy's sick, guys, you got to help. And I'm going to try not to tear up, but just being able to wash your dishes. Yeah, I'm falling apart. Huge thing. So before I fall completely apart on the camera, I'm going to go ahead and say thanks for watching. Check out the stuff down below. I'm going to overlink things and repeat them because there's a lot of great information on there. I'm going to put my doctor's YouTube down there to follow because he's got a lot of great information. If you have any questions, you know, go ahead and put them down there. Subscribe and keep up with my process. And I'm going to put a couple other doctors that I follow that have been a huge help. Dr. Hyman, he just put out a great new book, which I'm going to do a video on also, teaching how to eat. That's pretty much it for now. But like I said, guys, I want you to feel better. I want you to feel as good as I'm feeling because I know if anyone's in chronic pain, just this amount that of change that I have is just huge. Huge for me. So anyways, leave a comment down below if you have any questions. If I can't answer it, I will find someone to answer it for you. And subscribe, keep up with it, and let's help people heal and feel better. All right, guys. Thanks, and see you soon.